In this video of Florida Man Math, we're answering another request from the r/learnmath subreddit, and the question is to solve for x in this expression. So we have 2/3 log 8 plus 1/2 log 9 minus log 6 equals log of x. So before we do this problem, let's recall some useful facts about logarithms that'll make short work of this. So if we have log of a product, then this would be log a plus log b. And so we're converting the operation of multiplication in the argument of the log to addition between two different logs. Analogously, there's this relation, log of a over b is equal to log of a minus log of b. So in this version, we take the operation of division inside the argument and convert it to a difference. So you've got multiplication goes to addition, division goes to subtraction. And a way to get around exponents is the following. If you have log of b raised to the a, you can basically just drag and drop this a in front as a coefficient to get a times log of b. So these are our log laws, and so let's proceed with the problem here. Ideally, we can get everything in one log over here, and that way it'll equal log of x on the right-hand side, and then just exponentiate based on whatever the base is. So that means we should take this exponent, and it really belongs up here in front of the 8. So we should write this as log of 8 raised to the 2/3 plus, and applying the same trick, we're taking the 1/2, raising it to the raising 9 to the 1/2 power. And again, it's using this rule here. So it'll be log of 9 to the 1/2. Now minus log of 6, technically this is a minus 1. So if we take the number -1 and raise it, then we're really doing this, plus log of 6 to the minus 1. And this doesn't change the right-hand side, log of x. Now the fact that this is a sum of logs on the left-hand side means we can employ this rule. So the sum of the logs is the log of the product of all of the arguments. So it'll be 8 to the 2/3 times 9 to the 1/2 times 6 to the minus 1 equals log of x. Now, because we haven't specified any base, if this were arbitrarily a base b, then you would just take b raised to the entire left-hand side and b raised to the entire right-hand side, and all of this notation would cancel out. And so what falls to the floor is just the arguments of both of these sides. So we'll get 8 to the 2/3 times 9 to the 1/2 times 6 to the minus 1 equals x. And now we can just use some algebra to simplify some of these. So let's take this 6 to the minus 1 and put it in the denominator. So it'll look like 8 to the 2/3 times 9 to the 1/2 all over 6 to the positive 1, but we don't need to write the 1 anymore, equals x. And now, remembering some properties about what it means to take a fractional exponent, this is effectively taking a root. So, for example, the rule that a raised to 1 over n is equal to the nth root of a. And furthermore, if you have a raised to a fraction like b over c, then the c part comes out as the root, and you can raise a to the b first, or for appropriate bases a, you can swap the order. So you can take the cth root first and raise the entire thing to the bth power. So employing these two rules, let's take a look at 8 to the 2/3. we could evaluate this in two separate ways. We could go 8 squared to the 1/3, or we could do 8 to the 1/3 quantity squared. Over here, we have 8 squared is equal to 64. And the 1/3 indicates that we're taking a cube root. So what number times itself 3 times will give you 64? That ends up being 4, because 4 cubed is 64. So these cancel out, and we get that 8 to the 2/3 is 4. But let's check that over here. If we have 8 to the 1/3 quantity squared, that's the same thing as the cube root of 8 quantity squared. So what number times itself will give you 8? Or what number times itself 3 times will give you 8? That ends up being 2, because 2 cubed is 8. So this notation cancels. And what we're left with is 2 squared, which of course equals 4 over here. So with all that said, 8 to the 2/3 is equal to 4. And 9 to the 1/2 is actually easy, because that's just the square root of 9, which of course is 3. And then the 6 doesn't change. So altogether, x is equal to 4 times 3 over 6. 4 times 3 is 12 over 6. So our final answer is x equals 2. Alright, and if you like this video and you want more like it, please like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.